Hi, and welcome to Edison on Stage. I'm your host, Joe Vierno. This segment is all about Plays in the Park's first episode, which is going to be Buddy, the Buddy Holly story. We're going to be speaking with the director and the choreographer and the musical director and some of the members of the cast, and then we'll top it off with some musical entertainment from the show. So stick around for all of that. Just want to let you know that the purpose of Edison on Stage is to get you interested in the theater that's taking place in and around the Edison area. And if you want to see a list of all the shows that are playing right now and over the next few months, you go to our website. That's mitgo.net, www.mittco.net, and you'll get a listing of all the shows, as I mentioned. Well, I have with me again Gary Cohen.
Hi.
Hi. Who is the producing director here at Plays in the Park.
Correct.
And along with that, you usually get involved, you always direct and produce the first show.
I produce all the shows. I usually direct the first one, and occasionally I'll do a set design.
And you've done the set design for this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the set design.
Right.
I just love this stuff.
This is a scale model of the set. It's a half-inch scale, so every half-inch equals 1 foot of actual scenic element. And this is given to the technical director and the head of the scenic artists as a guide to building the set, what it should look like, and how to paint it.
Now, how long ago did you do this?
I started it in January.
Right. Here we are in mid-June.
Well, they wanted to start building it in March.
Okay. All right. So, like anything else around here, there's a schedule. It's very tight.
I mean, this is done. The Buddy set is done. They finished a good deal of Mattress. They're already working on Millie, our third show.
Okay.
Because it has to get painted, it has to get dressed, meaning all the props have to be added to it and the scenic elements. So, yeah, they've been working on it for several months.
Yeah, Gary mentioned the two other shows. The second show is going to be Once Upon a Mattress, which is based on the fable, The Princess and the Pea. And then the last one is
Thoroughly Modern Millie.
All Singing, All Dancing.
All tap dancing.
This particular piece, everything's falling down.
Right.
This particular piece,
You can see it behind us.
right there, you see that?
And we call it the superstructure. Underneath lives the core of the band, the rhythm section, the keyboards, the guitar.
Oh, the actual band.
Lives under there. I mean, they go home at night and stuff, but we call it lives.
You let them go home, do you?
Yeah, that's the theater term. And up here is the radio station of High Pockets Duncan, the man who really pushed Buddy Holly onto his career.
Always available. Barbecues, barn dances, and weddings.
So you can see how it went from this physical rendering to that wonderful set that we have there. And then there's all these other pieces that you'll see when you come to see the show.
See the back of these two right now. And they will split and come around and form the recording studio in Clovis, New Mexico, that Buddy recorded most of his stuff.
So nothing has to go off stage. You just need to move the pieces about. Do the actors get involved in moving the scenery?
Oh, yeah.
They all love doing that, don't they?
No. But
Well,
they
there's
do it
a-
anyway.
Well, there's a lot of stress involved. You know, if
Get
three.
in place in a blackout, you got to do it fast and efficient.
Right. Are you there yet?
Yeah, really.
I mean, have you had that tech yet?
Oh, yeah. We started blocking it right away. It's best to choreograph that as if it were a dance move.
Right. Okay. We're going to be speaking with Michelle Massa.
NASA?
Michelle Massa. Why can I not get Massachusetts? Sing it.
Exactly.
Massachusetts.
Never on a Sunday.
In Massachusetts.
Right, okay.
Michelle Massa, who's the choreographer. And then we'll be speaking with Tony DiDio, who is the musical director, and we'll speak with some of the cast members. And then we're going to see a little bit of rehearsal time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you very much once again, Gary.
You're most welcome.
Because the next time I see you, it will be the Gary Cohen Show.
Nah. And I'll interview you.
There you go.
All right.
There you
Okay.
go.
Thank you, and watch Edison on Stage.
Oh, please be true to me, my darling.
Well, here I am with Buddy Holly. What an honor it is, sir. I remember your music very well.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, Jonathan, I've seen you perform many times, and he's a wonderful actor. And now you're doing rock and roll.
It's definitely a new experience, but I'm really enjoying it. It's almost like a rock concert mixed with a musical. So,
What do you have to do in this show that you've never had to do before in musical comedy?
well, there's a lot of guitar playing. Basically, there's two major scenes in the show where it's literally like a concert experience. So it's less it's like almost like a documentary feel. And it's the first time I'm actually playing a real person. So that's a new experience for me.
Ah, okay. Yeah, sure. It's Buddy Holly. So what kind of research do you do? Because there are going to be people, there are going to be a bunch of old people like me
No.
who remember the man in 1957. So I guess you have to do a certain amount of research in order to get that right.
Right, that's true, Joe. I watched a bunch of documentaries on his life, biographies. I watched the film version with Gary Busey. I listened to his music constantly to try to get the character and the way he produced his sound, and some rare footage of interviews to get how he spoke. And
Yeah, that's quite a lot in a very short period of time. We're taping now. The show opens in about a week. Are you there yet?
I think we're really solid right now. The cast is great. We're really energetic. We're ready to go. We just need an audience now to cheer us on.
Yeah, doesn't it get to be that way just before you open? You really need some of that feedback from the audience. You know, I saw this show in London. I guess you had to see it in London. It never had a New York opening. And I remember the last half hour of the show was like a concert.
Right, there are people standing up and clapping, and they get very into it. So I went to a production in Connecticut recently, and everybody was on their feet, no matter what age they were. So it's pretty
That
amazing.
good old 50s rock and roll. Yeah. Some of the other characters in the play.
Well, they have my two crickets, the two boys in my band who were best friends of mine in high school,
Buddy Holly and the Crickets.
Joe and Jerry. Mr. High Pockets Duncan was a radio announcer who basically gave me my start, my first contract, and we go through different contracts. Mr. Norman Petty, who recorded with us our first 10 albums, tracks, and so it goes through the journey, and I meet my future wife, Maria Elena Holly.
So there's a whole story that goes on here. And Gary explained this to us the last time we talked about the show, that it's different from the usual jukebox musicals, like Mamma Mia, for example, where they would take a song and incorporate it into the show itself. Here we're actually telling the story of Buddy Holly, and we'll see you perform as Buddy Holly.
Right, that's true. There's no songs that just come out of nowhere. I sing it because I'm either in the recording studio or I'm performing in a concert, so it's very real.
Right, we get to see two other good old rock and roll characters.
Yes, Richie Valens, singer of La Bamba, and the J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, famous for Chantilly lace
Chantilly lace.
and a pretty face, a ponytail hanging down.
Right. Well, this is my kind of stuff. I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait for you to see it, Joe.
Yeah. Well, thanks for spending time with us, Jonathan.
Thank you
And
very
good luck
much.
to you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Buddy Holly, ladies and gentlemen. The Buddy. Here I am with Tony DiDia, the musical director.
How you doing?
I haven't seen you since we last shot at Edison High School,
That's right.
where you were the musical director.
That's right. Yes.
So you've gone from Edison to Edison.
Yeah. It's a long road.
Well, this is your first show at the park.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's quite a difference than doing a high school show, isn't it?
Very different. Yeah. These people are very talented. So is the high school too, but it's much different. They learn so much faster here.
Yeah. Well, I've said very often that this is as good as community theater gets. You know, the actors have to be amateurs, but it's professional everywhere else. You know, you're going to have professional musicians,
Yes. Yeah.
right? And the technical people and the directors, choreographer, and so forth. They're all
Yeah.
professional people, and they do a great job here. What are the challenges of doing this good old rock and roll? I mean, you're probably dealing with people who really don't remember the era.
It's true. No, a lot of them weren't born then, but a lot of it is they say for our show, pretty much imitation is the highest form of flattery, and that's what we're trying to imitate Buddy Holly at this point too, style-wise and musically, and try to get his sound as much as possible into what we're doing. It was he had such an influence on a lot of people, and it comes through in a lot of his music.
Yeah. The orchestra that you're going to have, how many pieces?
Will be 13.
13. Another thing, this show, the orchestra, which is usually right out front here, okay, is going to be up on stage this time.
Yes. Yeah, there's at the end of the second act, we actually do some concert-type footage. where the band is actually participating in the show, and it should bring down the house.
Yeah, yeah. I've already mentioned I saw the show in London, and that last half hours is just great fun. It's a concert. I mean, when I was growing up, I didn't go to a lot of concerts.
I did.
Yeah. Well,
It helps.
But I never went to the concert. So when I went to this, it was like going to a concert that had Richie Valens and the Big Bopper and Buddy Holly and the Crickets.
These guys do a great job. They really do. The Boppers, he's rocking, and Richie is unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. Tony, thank you very much, and good luck. Your first
Pleasure.
shot here at the park. See you next.
Hey, riders!
I'm here with Arlene Britt, an Edison resident
Yes,
and a member of the cast of Buddy.
absolutely thrilled to be in Buddy. Love Place in the Park, regular audience member for years and years.
Is this your debut on
This
the?
is my debut in Place in the Park,
All
but
these years.
all these years. But my daughter is in the show, and this is her third production.
In the same show.
Yes, no.
Is she in this show?
She's in the show. She's in the ensemble, Marissa Err, and she was in Scarlet Pimpernel last summer. Of course, I saw every performance, and then she was in Joseph
So
at
you're
the
one of these
State Theater.
stage mothers we hear about.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you driving her nuts?
No, she's driving me nuts.
Well, what is your role in this?
I am Mary Lou Skokoloff. I
You're
am
not.
an aging beauty queen who gets to massacre the Star Spangled Banner.
You're actually going to sing the Star
I
Spangled Banner?
sing the Star Spangled Banner in my own dramatic interpretation.
Well, what's the context in the show?
It's the Clear Lake concert, Clear Lake, Iowa, which is Buddy's last concert.
Right, this
So
is
they
the-
reenact
right.
basically what happened
Yes.
that night, and it's such an exciting part of the show.
Oh, I remember it so well. We've spoken about that concert at the end of the show.
Yes,
how
it's
much fun
so
it
much fun. The audience is going to love this
Yeah,
show.
Yeah. Well, great talking to you.
Thank you.
A fellow Edison resident.
Right?
And good luck with your debut here at Plays in the Park.